Hello, this is Bridget with Divine Essentials. Alright guys, so I just finished making a video that is going to be shared on the channel, and I figured it'd be the perfect opportunity to make a couple other videos that shows what goes into posting a video. The video I made is connected to Amazon Flex, which is my side hustle that I'm doing right now while I'm building this new channel from scratch, which is basically me taking you guys with me and showing you all of it. I spent a couple of days, I recorded my Amazon Flex routes, I then edited it in CapCut. So if you see CapCut right here in the middle of my screen, I used that to edit my videos. So like when I go into CapCut, it's free. You can download it in the Play Store or the Google Store, and you can do a new project. And you can grab videos or photos. They also have stock videos and other things. So when I did it, I basically was just like boop, 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 and I grabbed all of the parts of what I had recorded. I used my screen recorder, which is built into my phone, which I'm using right now. I also used the regular video to record parts of it. So, you know, basically I would go and boop, 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 say I take these two parts, pop them in there. And then when I was in here, there's tons of ways to edit and play within here. If you ever get lost, you're like, how can I do something? You can also YouTube that. Like for example, I knew I needed to hide parts of the video, and the old editor that I used to use had like a little blur option that I could just blur whatever I wanted on the screen, but for some reason CapCut makes that difficult. Go to effects and then video effects, and then when you're in here you can say blur. Okay, so anything that says pro is a paid version. I just have the free version. See how this is all blurred? There's different ways of blurring, but that's the one that we picked for now. So what I ended up doing was like I screenshotted this and then I zoomed into just that little part like that. Okay, so then I have like a blurry thing. Save that, and then when there's a certain part on the screen, I would overlay with the photo, boopity bop. And if it was too big or too small, or I just wanted to make it different, I would go to the mask, and they have all these options, so I could do that, make it all different sizes. Plus, once you're done with that, you can even zoom and do that. So I ended up like hiding people's address and name where I needed to. I kept the address on, but I didn't keep their name on, because you don't know exactly what town I'm in. There's plenty of streets that are named the same, but I didn't want people to have the name and the address. So throughout that video, you'll see there's little things like this added over the spots that I didn't want everybody to have access to. But this is the way you need to do it in CapCut. It's crazy. It's like, why? Because, like I said, there's another free editor out there that is like, it's built in. You don't have to do all this craziness. It's really not that hard, because once you do it and you have that, you can also duplicate it, you know. So if I have this one here for this part of the video, and I know I'm going to need it again a little bit further down, I just duplicate it, and I can move it around as many times as I want. So this is a short video here, right? Say that I just wanted to blur something that's like on the screen for 4 seconds. Here, I might need it again, so I put it there and shrink that down for however long I needed it for. And you can keep doing that, and you can make new ones, take old ones away. Also, if you're in here, when you click on the actual video that is there, it has volume. You can turn it all the way up, or you can turn it all the way down, depending on what you want. There's parts of that video that I turned it all the way down so that I could then, boppity boop, go back and add audio, and then I can record a part that I want to say, and it gives you 3, 2, 1, and then you just be like, oh, this is this, boppity boop, and then that's that. But again, you can click on that, and you can also change the volume of that, and then you just be like, oh, this is this, boppity boop. Okay, so there's a lot of things in here. I'm not gonna go crazy and show you every single thing in here, but I do recommend playing with it. This is where I also got the echoey, see? And then you just be like, oh, and then you just be like, oh, this is this, you just be like, oh, and then you just be like, oh, this is this, ba-ba-dee-boo. And they have all types, okay? So there's that. You can also fade it in and out. So if you want that, and then you just be like, oh, this is, and then you just be like, oh, this is this, ba-ba-dee-boo. It can fade in and out. You can split it. So if there's like a part that you need to edit out, like I didn't want to say I do recommend taking out ums. I do recommend taking out pauses. Whenever I edit a video and I get really specific about taking out my ums and my pauses and stumbles over words, there's a higher retention rate on those videos. If you're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, the retention rate is important. And if you are having very low retention rate, you may want to pay attention to, am I saying a lot of filler stuff? Am I pausing too long? Are people like, and pay attention, where are people clicking off on your stuff? Because you can also see that, especially in YouTube. We'll get deeper into all of that. I don't want to overwhelm people. If you're making like an hour-long video and your retention rate is really, really low, then I would recommend making shorter videos so that your retention rate goes up. Because if you make an hour-long video and people are only watching 6 minutes of it, your retention rate will be bad. But if you make a 10-minute video and they watch 6 minutes of that, your retention rate will go way up. And the way that things are in this world right now, nobody has a freaking attention span. The shorter, the better. It sucks. I feel weird. I feel bad even participating in it. I can remember back in the day when I first started doing all of this stuff, they didn't even have underneath a minute-long thing to look at. Now, the first 3 seconds of a video used to be the first minute of a video. That's how much it has shifted over these years. You used to have a minute, now you have seconds to grab people's attention and to keep them engaged. And a lot of people do not hang around for stuff. There's probably people that aren't even here right now. They just left. They couldn't handle, they couldn't hang, they don't pay, they don't want to, nope. The shorter the better. I don't really like that. I feel like we should bring people back into like, hey, you know, we don't all need to be ADHD. I feel like that's a thing that's taking over the world because of this stuff. And I'm seeing the proof of that now, where there's people out there who are suing the social media places for the algorithmic stuff that is legitimately causing people to be like addicted, chasing the algorithm high. Think about the shorts, the rails, like these things that they can't be longer than 30 seconds or 60 seconds. It's designed to shorten people's attention span, because if people don't pay attention to things, we don't really realize the things that are going on that are atrocities in the world, and we just keep letting it happen because we're over here flicky, getting our dopamine. I'm hoping that if you're here, you're serious about building your business, you're serious about learning this stuff, so hopefully your attention span will be somewhat here. You can also reduce noise, so if there's a lot of background noise in your videos, you can add that, and it does make a difference. You can also change the speed, so if you wanted that to be like faster or slower. Right? And the same thing for the video. So all those things that I was just clicking on were for the voice part down here. Up here is for the video part. So again, you can make it slow so that it goes like, right? So I'm going to delete these down here for now so that we don't get confused. But right now, the video speed is at 0.2. So you can see it's going really slow. But if I change it to that, do you see how quickly it shrinks because it's so, boop, gone, right? Boop, gone. Boop. Okay, so those are just some of the things. You can speed it up, you can slow it down. Let's slow it down so that we have like a longer thing to play with here. Now, when we click play and we say right here, say we want to boop, we can take that little part off in the beginning, or we could do a split here and a split here and take that part out. And again, you decide what you want to take in and out of your video. You can also expand it open like this. It's not going to speed it up or slow it down to do this. It just gives you more room to work with it. So if you know there's an right here and you're having a hard time taking that little piece out, you could just do boop, like go here, say my ums right here. I'm going to clip that, boppity boop, right? We split there. We get rid of that. We get rid of that or whatever thing. If the end of the video you're just not into, you just take that whole thing off. And again, because we've added that thing there, if you want to take that out, you just click on it, you shorten it, boop up, delete it, whatever you like. And if you wanted to have a video that has the background like that, but then like a video of yourself over it that's like explaining something, you just do the overlay with the video of yourself. Now these are the versions of the thing I did, that 59-minute long video right here, this one. So originally when I made that video, it was like 2 hours long. I think I already deleted the 2-hour long one, but I cut it from 2 hours down to 45 minutes, and it's 2 different routes. But you could, if I wanted to put that there, I can shrink it down and be like talking to people about what's going on right here. You can also change the background of the whole thing, so you can see the aspect ratio. If you're going to be posting this on Instagram, you can change it so that, you know, this thing is there. You know that it will be seen well on Instagram or Facebook. If you're putting it on to YouTube, you could shrink it down even more. I wouldn't recommend doing that, especially nowadays. I've noticed like all of the places pretty much have like the long thing. TikTok's is very long and skinny. Instagram has gone from the 1:1 to like a 3x4. So you could do 3x4 and get away with putting that on all of your places. I have noticed that if you put a long video on Facebook, it does cut a lot off, and not everybody knows that when they're watching a Facebook video on their feed, they can actually expand it to be bigger so they can see the top and bottom, especially if there's words on it. So I would recommend, if you're gonna put words on your videos, that you put them in a spot that you know it's going to be universal, so that it can be seen on a phone, on a laptop, on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, especially if you want to cross-post it. And I do recommend cross-posting things. Say you're going to make a video on TikTok, you can download that and put that onto Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. If you're going to be making a YouTube short, you might as well take that YouTube short time, like that 60-second thing, put that onto Facebook Shorts and put that onto Instagram Reels, you know. Put it onto your TikTok. You could even put it into your story or just right onto your TikTok. But I do recommend, like, if you're making something somewhere, make it so you can put it across everything. And if you are wanting to use YouTube Shorts, just remember YouTube Shorts limit is 60 seconds. Instagram's is 90 seconds. TikTok has gone up to 10 minutes. You can actually post on Instagram up to 15 minutes too now. You just have to do it as a post instead of as a reel. Anything you try to post as a reel will be cut to 90 seconds, and anything you try to do as a YouTube short will be cut to 60 seconds. So if you're plan ahead, be like, all right, I know I want to put it onto YouTube, I know I want to put it onto TikTok, just keep them all at 60 seconds. That way they'll all fit. But if it's something long form, you could put as long as you want on YouTube. You could put as long as you want on Facebook. You could put up to 10 minutes on TikTok, and you could put up to 15-minute video length on Instagram. So keep those things in mind as you're doing it. But like I was saying, if you're going to add text, look, we're here, we haven't touched anything. These are all our options down here. There's filters, so you can filter your stuff, make it look different. There's also like adjusting, if you just want to adjust it yourself. Just make sure you don't click anything that says Pro unless you want to pay for Pro. You can add stickers, like when I was doing that video, I added arrows and I added circles, so I would just be like, okay, you can animate things too. So if you were to add something that you want to animate, like this thing, I think you can animate that. Yeah, so you can, whatever you want. And you can pretty much do that with anything. So go back, I'll show you again, circle, pop, boop. They have all those ones for free. As long as it doesn't say Pro on it, it's free. So look at all these things you can use for free to add to your video. If you want to circle something in your video, you circle it. Now say that you're like, I just want to circle that, but that's not going to be there for the entirety of the video. You can split it and get rid of that part of it. And say that arrow doesn't need to be there any longer, split it, get rid of it. If you want to duplicate that, you can do that as well. And, you know, add another arrow down here in the video, and just, you can, boop, click on it, move it around. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can make it face the other direction, whatever you like. Click this, do that, delete this. Awesome sauce. If we go back here, we go boop, boop, boop. If I click on this thing that I added, the overlay, we can also animate that. So we could have it fade in, or we could have it shake zoom, right? But you can also change like how long it's going to do that. As it comes in, it's doing something, right? The pro ones are the ones that you got to pay for. These other ones are free. They start off at the 0.5 mark, but you can put it up and be like, okay, I want to have it shake on in. Oh, there we go. Alright, it's doing, look at that. It's doing some weird ass shit. Like I was saying, if you're gonna add text on your screen, try to keep it centered and not too high up and not too low, especially if you're using the long skinny version, so that way if you put it on Facebook, people can actually read it. Just try to keep it centered. You can change the style of it. You can do all of these things. You can do effects. Sometimes I use like that effect. You can animate it so it like comes all boopity bopped. You can throw it out, and again you can have it throw out slowly, right? And then if we wanted to write something like, hello, this is my video, boopity bop. Sometimes it does that too, which sucks. You gotta get rid of it and try again. I really don't. I like CapCut, but there's other ones that don't do this weird shit. But if you go to styles, you can see, like, that might be hard to see on a very light background, so you can hit background and change it so that it has a background. You can also change the colors or the stroke, you know, like, oh, it's gonna look like that or that. There's fonts, there's classic, there's luxury, you know. I do recommend also having a set theme, okay? So when you first make your first video, find the font that you like, find the color theme that you like, find the you know, animations that you like, the arrows that you like, the circles that you like, so that when you put out a video, not only is it easy for you to know what you're going to be using, but it's like recognizable by others. You know, like my table where I do my readings has become like my thing, you know, like, oh, that's Bridget's reading, because that's her table, those are her crystals, that's her cards, that's her vibe. Hello, this is Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials is another, oh, that's Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials. You don't have to have a song that says your name and all of that. You don't have to have something that you're physically in, but try to remember to keep somewhat of a consistent thing going on, so that people remember you, they recognize you, they subscribe to you, they're like, oh, that's one of her or his videos, I would like to watch that. So take the time the first time you do it to go through and be like, all right, I'm very weird, I'm a creative person, I can't commit to shit, but if you can commit to shit, please commit to shit, because it will make a difference in your life. And like I said, there's so many of these, so go through them, see which ones you like, and, you know, stick to trying to keep a, you know, similar theme going on with whatever you're creating. Okay, so this is how we edit our videos. It's kind of a mess, and then when you're done, you go up here to the 1080 thing. You can change the resolution, you can change the frame rate. The higher the resolution, the higher the frame rate, the better the quality it will be. I've noticed though, it takes forever to save a video that is like wicked high like that. So sometimes I mark them like down lower so that it won't take forever, and then I just save it to my device. I can't remember how long that one was. It wasn't very long, but even so, look, it doesn't seem to be going very quickly. So let's quit that for now. And again, go back here. Let's mark them all the way down to the lowest settings. And now save device. It should go a little bit faster this time. Sometimes it takes a few seconds. Also, we added a lot of, the more that you add to it, like all those special effects or those movable parts, the longer it's going to take for it to save. I don't need that to save because I'm not going to be using it, but as you can see, they say don't close your screen. There's another free app out there that you can edit with, that you can close your screen, you can go do other things, you can use stuff. So it's in my mom's phone. Let me pull it up here and tell you the name of it. It was in my, yes, Video Maker. So I'm gonna go here, and now when I'm screen recording and I want to show somebody something, I do this. So this is the other phone. See, Video Maker, that one is another one. I actually paid for it at one point, but For some reason, the thing like didn't work properly when I tried to put it on here, so I ended up getting rid of it. But you just do new project, grab whatever. It's very much, they're all pretty much the same, but I did notice it's just a lot easier to use. It was easier effects for me. So you see same type of stuff going on here. Your text, boppity boop, and even in there they have the different text you can use. You can change your background, has all the different backgrounds. So if you want to use that one, like I said, when you save it, you don't have to keep this screen on. It's totally up to you what you like to use, and I recommend playing around with them anyways. That's how we edit a video. I'm going to want to make a title, a description, tags, and a thumbnail for that video, but I don't want this video to get too long, so I'm going to go now, and then I will do those other ones separately. Thank you very much. In Renee, namaste.